I have I have so many thoughts about Linear. What has inspired me most about it is they picked a category that already existed and they just rebuilt it. As a young founder, I always thought you had to think like I would Google a startup idea I had, and if it was on Google, I'd be like, oh shit, okay, well, guess I'm not doing that one. It's like hilariously the wrong approach. So they picked a category and they built a great version of it. And to do that, you have to think that it's righteous. If you're like, fuck it, it's a fucking project management tool, who cares? Then you're going to build a bad project management tool, and hundreds of thousands, millions of people are going to use your shitty project management tool every day. Or you could take the Steve Jobs approach of like, yeah, there's going to be a computer on every desk in the next 15 years. It can either be a shitty version or it can be a beautiful version. And that's the approach Linear took in the project management space. Thing number two is the myth. Nike doesn't make a lot of money on pro athletes. They're trying to sell shoes to everyone. But in doing so, they partner with the best and they make their brand aspirational, right? Linear showed you could do that for software too. You can build a great product for product builders. You can create a whole aura. They have the Linear method. You don't see the Jira method. You don't see the Google Docs method. Where's the Google Docs Bible on writing? The fact that the product, the software, should be paired with a philosophy on how you ought to do your work is what gives it a reason for existence. So that's really inspiring. It's like this whole aura that it's purpose-built for engineering teams, that if all of your engineers that work at your company think we are building the highest and best form of this tool, you'll build the highest and best form of this tool. If somebody is just bringing up the topic of Linear, I will say it is very fast. It is a good product. However, because of how well they've fucking done their myth stuff, depending on who I'm talking to and how much they like the thing, I mean, like, yeah, it's really good, it's fast, or like, bro, it's kind of cope. The idea of initiatives and the cycle tracking, it's opinionated in a way that didn't quite hit for us. Did it actually elevate our project management? No. Were we organized? Marginally more, maybe. Did people like using it more? Yes. And maybe that's the important thing, is like it was more enjoyable to use. But I don't think it lived up to what I expected it to be. I'm the CEO of the company. The most important thing for our company right now is to build an incredible product. This is a product that markets itself on being a great tool for building products. But I never used it. If I needed to know what somebody was working on, I would just say, hey, Bob, what are you working on? It was sufficiently not up to date and sufficiently lacking in detail, meaning it encouraged some good user behavior, but it did not go all the way to encouraging the user behavior that I would want. And hence, it didn't reach the bar of usefulness where I would actually find it like quite a useful thing to check. And there's a couple reasons for this. One, I think, is because you still have to go in and create tickets. What is the number one thing you would want out of a ticketing system? To me, the number one thing I would want is that the ticketing system reflects reality, right? Like the number one thing you'd want in a CRM is that it's up to date. The number one thing you'd want in a ticketing system is that it's up to date. It was more up to date than Notion. It was not up to date enough to be very useful to me personally. As the CEO of a product-focused company, I would expect this thing to be more useful to me than it was. It succeeded in getting us to migrate from Notion. It fixed some of the problems with Notion, like the slow page load time. So like just functionally, like it is a faster product than Notion. As a customer, it marginally maybe improved our product management, and I think it made the engineers happier. And they are just the pinnacle of craft and quality, I would say, when it comes to software. Why should anyone think that your company matters if you don't believe it matters? And yet there's so many people that don't seem to believe what they're doing matters. Dude, I don't know, man. It's a little disappointing. There's a lot of money going towards a lot of companies where they don't seem to give a shit about what they do. This is an example. Linear is a company that gives a shit, and so everyone else gives a shit. You take yourself seriously. You build something good, and so other people will see that. It takes a while. It's not as easy as putting $1 million into fucking Meta ads, but in the long run, it's how you win.